right? And like, you know, Sed went to Tech, A went to Tech, I went to Tech. But this was like after everybody was out of Tech. Like this was like 92, 93. You went to Tech, right? And so I would come uptown and, you know, I was there in the room for Man Behind the Handshakes. I was there in the room for She Could Be My Broad. I was there in the room when A did the demo that eventually got to Tommy Boy. And so, you know, I became kind of part of this whole Renaissance clique and G-Bo the Pro and Double R. But there always was conversation about Ted, Ray's brother Ted. And Ted went to Tech, right? And you don't know Ted? Nah, you gotta know Ted. Ted went to Tech. And you and I didn't know you in school. In fact, I think you when did you leave Tech?
It was 89, 90.
89, 90. So I was there. I was a sophomore. I was a freshman, 88, 89. I was a sophomore, 89.
Rest in peace, Conrad McCray. That was my best friend.
Right.
C-Rad.
Right.
Shout to Twan. D-Mag. I mean, we had a mob. Chef. We was tearing Brooklyn up when it came to the high school basketball, you know.
So you played ball. You played on Tech
I was a
team.
point guard.
Right.
I was a point guard. I was diming everybody. Man, so many stories. But
did you play on JV then?
I was on football.
Oh, you played football?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I played 4 years. Yeah.
Tell me about
Coach
that. Tell me.
I'm coming to see Rad. I mean,
right.
by the junior year, it was lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rad was going crazy. All the colleges won him, and we
Tick was on that team, right?
Yeah. I just shot the Tick. I just seen Tick the other day.
Yeah.
Tick was my rival in practice all the time. It's crazy because we just had a few dudes that failed off. You feel me? So kind of stopped our run.
Right.
But we definitely had a great crew. We used to do damage. You feel me? Rad is actually, he gave me my name. Because before that, you know, we used to write graffiti. So I used to write either Tedster or Ted Ski. You know, there was
everybody
had
and
being from uptown.
Right.
Being from uptown, you know. Me and Andy kind of just, both our mothers kind of made us go to Brooklyn Tech because they didn't want us to run around Manhattan and all that. And we was like, yeah, we just made a pact. We was like, if you go, I'll go. So, you know, we kind of stuck out. We stuck out like a sore thumb, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Andy over there, you know, wearing, you know, MCM jackets and I'm over there with New Balance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we was coming different. And I remember we was in practice and we was doing one-on-ones and I was going at Tick. We was going back and forth. And I did a move. Boom, I caught Tick with some shit. And Rad just like stopped the practice. He's like, nah. He was like, nah. He's like, you the smoothest Puerto Rican I know. You test smooth. Like, I'm Dominican, right? But he, you know, to him, it's like, it's all the same thing.
Right.
So Rad was like, nah, you test smooth, like, and it just stuck. So a lot of people don't know that you know, my DJ name really didn't come from DJing at all. It came from basketball.
Right.
And you know me, next week I got the Test Smooth jacket, the custom from Olaf.
Right.
You feel me? So I ran with it, and
right.
you know, at the same time I was DJing, so it just became my name.
So you was DJing from high school?
Yeah, I DJed since I was 12.
Yeah. Okay.
Since early.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, coming up under my brother, like, I'm the youngest of four, or the siblings, so my mom's kind of made them take me everywhere. You feel me? So I was in Wood Park, you know what I'm saying? Like
early.
8 years old, like at the house parties, like, so it got to the point I was around so much and I used to help them out with the equipment and the records and all that I just became familiar with it. And, you know, wake up, you know, earlier than everybody and just took the equipment, like, you know, everybody's sleeping. I'm like,
you gonna play with the shit.
You know, I start dabbing. I'm like, that's enough. Until you know, I'm like, yeah, I can mix.
Right.
And you know, every now and then the house parties, you know, got to go to the bathroom. When he talking to a chick, he's like, yo, just play the next record. I'll be back.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh.
Right.
Boom, and I would play the next record.
Wow.
So I got the science of it. Just watching. Obviously, once I did it myself, it was over. I just knew how to do it. And then, you know, in high school, in Tech, I don't know if you remember the female basketball team. It's going named Autumn.
Autumn Smooth.
Yep.
Right, so Autumn's my girl, right?
Shout to Autumn.
And I always mention her in this story in every like interview or whatever I do because she's very important and she knows this because we just got along. Like I really never try to kick it to her. Like we just got along. And by like sophomore year, she would bring the Rockers tapes and the reggae tapes, right? And then we would trade tapes.
Right.
So she's the one that put me on to Rockers. You feel me? Like early, because we all heard of Bob Marley, but you know the Admiral
She was
Bailey.
giving you the shit that we was listening to here in Brooklyn.
She from Brooklyn, so she was in them. That was what she grew up in, and then I grew up in what I grew up in. So we just became cool. So she started giving me her tapes, and we started trading tapes. I'm putting on to the hip hop, R&B, and she put me on to. So none of this music was popular. You dig what I'm saying? It was Rockers. It wasn't even reggae. It wasn't called reggae.
Right, it was Rockers.
And so I just got into it, and I was just smart enough to like this music is gonna go. Like this music gonna. So at a very very early age, I started buying these records. I started buying, the Dawn Penn, and even before, like I'm talking Sister Charmaine, like that's one of G-Bo's favorite records. I started buying these records, and then at that time, hip hop was underground. We talking mid 80s.
Right.
House music and freestyle music was in, right? In our neighborhood, right? So that's what my brother was on. Feel me?
Right.
And then a little bit of hip hop, but mostly that.
So Ray was really on that freestyle.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I'm gonna go back to that stuff, but I'm gonna tell you what my brother DJ Ray Double R.
Yeah, Double R.
Where do you think that name come from?
I
know
never
the
knew.
history of it?
No, I never knew.
Okay, so my brother used to do. Okay, there's a DJ and they used to hang in Wagner, but he's from Lakeview. No, he's from Franklin. His name is DJ Smiley, DJ Angel, but they used to call him Smiley. Smiley was the baddest dude, like the baddest dude. You got Ozzy G and Wagner. He was dope too, but Smiley took it to another level.
Right.
And we were fans of him. Like my brother was a fan of him, so he's the one that kind of got my brother into DJing. So after my brother got his feet wet, he started doing the freestyle tapes and doing it his way, with the blending and all that. Right. And then he started building his name up, and he became popular. Then the handball court was the main part of Wagner. Probably like I was heavy in the handball, like at 12, 13 years old, I was I was beating grown men. Right. Like I was ranked in the city, like. Right. So one of the guys that I played, one of my mentors, his name is Richie. Nasty. He was probably like ranked #1 for a few summers in the city. So Richie, his wife at the time, eventually, to this day, she's the lead singer of the Cover Girls. Her name is Evelyn. So when she got into that position, he started producing and getting. So he had all his equipment, right? And then him and my brother started kicking it, and then they basically got together because he had the equipment, my brother had the records, so they became Richie and Ray.
Double R.
Yeah. So then that lasted maybe like 1 or 2 years, whatever. Something happened, dude got divorced, he broke out, took all the equipment, he vanished. So my brother just stood with the name. Right. So that's where the name Double R come from. Right. You feel me? So at that time, I mean, his shit was just next level. Like the way he, I mean, if you've been around him, you see how he worked. Yeah. And so I'm just watching all this, and I'm like, damn, okay, you can do that with that, okay. And I just, the little brothers always got the advantage because we get to learn from the older brother and add our spice. Right. So then that's kind of what happened with me. Like, I'm getting my records together. I'm doing this. I'm buying, working summer youth. You know what I'm saying? Buy a pair of sneakers, buy 2 records. Right. You feel me? Right. Buy some 2 tones, buy 2 records. Right. So by the time I'm 15, I got this crate of reggae. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But nobody paying attention to this shit.
Up there.
Yeah. Right. Because I'm going to Brooklyn, but I'm
Where you was copping from?
You got B Street.
B Street.
I was copping from Downstairs Records. Now eventually, shout out to my man Junior Dre and my man Dean. I bumped into these 2 guys. This was like after I was already like 90s. I was already gone.
Yeah.
But then Rockin' with them, they took me to New Look. They took me to Moody's, like, and they introduced me to like the real, right? Like young Java running around, going to the store, like, you know what I mean? That environment, You know what I'm saying? So when reggae, when One Blood came out, Reggae Bus, freestyle died, like, in the house music kind of. So now it's like, yo, who got the records? You know, back in the day, there ain't no internet. If you got the records, you got the girls. So who had the records? I had the hip hop and the reggae, and you know, whoever had house and whatever, they was kind of jammed up. So then that was my come up. So at 14, 15, you know, now in East Harlem night, I'm getting all the parties. You feel me? Like my personality mixed into how I DJ, because I'm listening to Hollywood and Star Child, and you know, I'm playing ball all over the city. So I'm in these places. So that was my automatic advantage. And then that was that. Because at the same time, I'm collecting my classics. So I got a full range of whatever. And I just started beasting. Like my first, people say, how long you been DJing? I don't count when I was 9, and that don't count. I always count from when I got paid.
The first time you got
paid. I got paid. So I was 15, and I got paid $150 to do somebody's 360. I was like, you want me to do it? It was like, yeah, like you, I did that and never looked back. It grew from there, and then that's it. You know, we get into the 90s. We doing Quasimodos on the east side. You ever been to Quasimodo?
Yeah, of course.
So you can touch on what that was on a Monday night.
Well, look, I want to back up a little, because one of the things, and I spoke to G about this when he was here, and shout out to G-Bo. G-Bo came and sat with us a few months back, and I was kind of talking to him about what it meant to be somebody from Harlem and taking the train every day to come down to Brooklyn, right? Because I was born and raised here, right? And I grew up in Clinton Hill, and I walked to school. Like, you know how back in the day they wouldn't give you train passes if you lived too close to them? I never got a train pass because I always lived in walking distance to the school, right?
So I went to Holy Rosary. We all did. All my siblings went to Holy Rosary, and my sister Rena graduated from Holy Rosary, and she was in the first class in Manhattan Center.
Right.
First graduating class.
Manhattan Center.
All city in baseball. My sister was no joke. So the year after that, I got recruited to go to Isaac Newton, which was junior high school, which is 7 and 8, right? So now I'm who I am, right? I'm 7 and 8. She who she is. So we kind of know everybody, right? We popular, and so I had an easy ride. You know what I'm saying? I would have had it easy.
If you were in Manhattan Center, you would have been golden.
You got Dame, you got Dash, you got. So then, for some reason, my mother thought that was not going to be a good thing. So she like, no, we're not having that. So it is what it is. So going to taking that train, that 45-minute ride. Yeah. You know, sometimes in winters walking, you know, to that train station. All I gotta say is Yellow Walkman. That was it. That was my disconnect. That was my, you know what I mean?
You're right.
That yellow Sony Walkman, you know, with the fresh batteries, that good Biz Markie first album on tape. Right. Throw that joint in there, and you just in the train. We're coming down. I forgot where Andy used to meet me at 116, I think, and then we riding the train, me and him, riding the train, and you know, the D-Steps, you know, it got, you know, it got a little crazy a few times. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I met some amazing people. The experience, you know, being able to, you know, come outside for lunch, and Spike Lee right there. He like, yo, come on, y'all, come to the firehouse. He let us hang out in there. Like, the experience of that, although I'm telling you, it got dangerous.
Yeah,
you know,
the
D-Step days was real.
It was real.
You know, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But the music kind of kept me just in my own little world.
Do you ever used to come and hang in Brooklyn, like house parties or parties?
Nah. The few times I came to hang with Brooklyn was in Fort Greene. Was sad. We would come hang over there. You know, you walking in this building, Rakim and them right there, Supreme and them right there, 50 Cent, you know, Dana Dane, live on the upper floor, Bernard King.
Right.
Like, so that his building was crazy.
It was crazy, right.
And then, you know, the projects, because I walked through there one time not knowing what it was, and it was like, yo, don't do that again. Like, you really gotta, you feel me? So so Sad used to bring us through all the time. Sometimes we used to go to LG, you know, rock some chicks, whatever, maybe Clinton Hill, but not too heavy.
Right.
Because by the time basketball practice was already dark, and it's like, you know what?
You gotta head uptown.
It's time to come back uptown because I'm still 15, 16.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So
But that shit is funny because like, and throughout these series, I've spoken to a lot of people about a lot of different subgenres of the culture, right? And so electro, house, freestyle, rockers, all this shit was popping in the mid '80s at the same time.
Yeah, in the mid '80s,
like '86,
all of it, yeah,
all of it had its plate.
Everything was like,
but it was segregated. So like in Spanish Harlem, it was different in terms of what was prevailing versus in Flatbush.
Well, if you're gonna compare like that, but I'm telling you, East Harlem, you know, in East Harlem, it was Spanish black. It's like 50-50.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So as you know, I mean, you know, dudes like chicks.
Yeah.
So you know, especially the Spanish chicks.
Right.
So trust me, through me being in the street, playing ball, doing all that, a lot of my friends and people I knew, my fans and my supporters was black. Yeah. So it's like to this day, if I talk to you on the phone,
you don't
like,
know.
Dominican, like, you feel me? So I grew up in it, and then it just became. You went to Quasimodo. It was half and half.
It was half and half. It was everything I went to when I was.
It was always a mixed crowd with anything I was doing. And even when we started doing the Funk Hut on the West Side with Grandma Funk and Coin Toy Soldier, that was legendary. It was industry.
Right.
So the industry was there, and then the East Side was there. So it was always a mix. It was always a mix.
So you ain't never had like aspirations of doing of being like what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Engineer.
So you wanted to be an engineer. What was your major in tech?
I took photography. Which I shot to Joe Conzo. I told Joe Conzo the story. He couldn't believe it. I took photography. My major, I can't even remember my major. I know I wanted to be an engineer. So it's like that T square was like, I held it with you know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't really like just for show.
Yeah.
Took photography. I like computer science, math. You know, math was about my favorite subject. So it was always having to do with math and just being creative.
Nice.
You dig what I'm saying? So my blueprint game was real.
It was real.
You feel me? And then
technical drawing,
all the pencils, just the whole protractor, all that.
Right.
Like I was really into it.
You made the hammer in tech.
All of it. We took metal shop upstairs.
Metal shop on 8th floor.
We was making, you know, tool shop and all that. So I was anything that had to do with hands and being creative. That was me. I've always been a creator. I'm the kid that took the toaster apart in the house, see what it was.
Right.
I'm that kid. So
you leave tech, you go to college?
Oh man, you hear that? That's a funny ass story. So I'm in tech, right? And my senior year is when I realized that they don't really give a fuck about us. They just want to get that Brooklyn Tech diploma. So I'm sitting there with 44 credits. You need 40. You need 40 to graduate, but I don't have enough elect. I'm like, yo,
the elective.
Wait a minute. Y'all making me take all these extra. Y'all making me take all the extra classes, but not the ones I need to graduate.
Right.
I'm like, yo, F y'all, man. I got money to get.
Right.
You feel me?
Because by then you was already outside. You was already getting money doing parties. Right. Right.
I'm working at the Gap. I'm working at the Gap. I'm DJing 5 nights a week. And I went to Washington Irving, nice school.
Nice. I went to Washington Irving.
Did my 4 little credits there.
Yeah.
Met a few shorty, there was a party over there. So you know, I'm coming
Washington Irving Nice School was
crazy. I'm bringing the tape. I'm coming with the radio, it was lit.
Yeah.
So
you had to be there.
So I get my diploma. Get out the mail. I look at it. Make sure the date is there. Give it to my mom. You good? She good.
Right.
I'm gone.
Right.
School.
Yeah.
Right. So you know, I learned enough in high school where I could apply to getting the money.
Nah, but I'm gonna tell you some real shit about tech. And Dallas Penn, shout to Dallas. Dallas Penn said this. What he said was the thing about tech that makes it so unique is that it teaches young kids to be productive in New York City. Like the mere fact of the building itself. Right?
Ridiculous.
It's fucking 8 floors. You may have third period at 1E19, fourth period.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story about that.
You know what I'm saying? But it taught us to be productive in this environment.
Not only that, it was like a little college, right? Because you could literally, bro, I went to school, my junior year, I was bumping into juniors that been there 3 years and I never seen them.
Right.
So culturally, right, it was dope because you get to meet all kind of people. Don't get it twisted. I was like,
not the diversity.
I was on the Indian side. I was everywhere.
Right.
You feel me? And you got to. It's like college. When you go to college, they from all over the world.
Yo, my college had less students than my high school when I went to college.
Yeah. So your social skills, all of it. Or tech was like if you go over there and you use all of the tools, you're gonna come out of there ready to do whatever, ready to go for whatever. So that was dope. And then it's like, it's a safe haven. And then when you come outside, you got to learn that street too. Right. So it was a reminder, like Purple City, I'm Wagner Projects.
Right.
Like I didn't have friends coming to visit me.
Right.
Because I ain't going over there.
Right.
So all of that worked itself out. Like I knew when you walking towards Nevers, you don't turn in that block. Right. That's where they're gonna be. Like so your street smarts kick in and it just all tied in. Let me tell you the funny thing about the lunchroom. Yeah. So I go there, first day. All my life, the lunchroom was downstairs. All my life. So I'm in there, boom, I got the locker. I want lunchtime.
Right.
I go downstairs.
Right.
I was looking for lunchroom for like 25 minutes. I walked around the whole school. School's a block long. Yeah. I finally get where's the lunchroom at? The Indian kid was like, oh, lunchroom on the 8th floor, it's upstairs. I'm like, what? So that's how unassuming I was.
Right.
And the school is 4,000 kids.
This shit is amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Big, bro. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Right? And the other thing is, like, when you talk to a tech night, one of the first things you ask them is, what was your major? The fact that we had majors, other high schools didn't have majors. Yeah. So it's really like college prep from day one. For sure. Right? So you come out of high school, you getting money, you doing 5 days a week. What's the environment like for 18-year-old Ted? Like, what is it like to be like now you done with high school and you just free to really
now I can do what I want.
Now you can do what you want.
Man, it was crazy because now when I look back at it now, like a lot of people see me now and they be like, damn, how can you juggle so much stuff? Like how you there, you this, that, and I'm just like, yo, shit, if you knew me when I was 18, like it was. This is my schedule. I'm up about 6:30. Breakfast, take a shower, whatever. Jump on my red mongoose. My red mongoose was legendary in the hood. Ride to 71st in Columbus to the Banana Republic warehouse. We service the whole city. Punch in. I'm there 8 hours. Shout to heck, all my niggas. Right. The best job in the world because it was just jokes, music, and just nobody bothered us. Right. So we there, boom. I punch out 5 o'clock, leave there. I get home by 5:30. Mom's cook. I'm eating. Take a shower. Grab the equipment.
And you out.
Call El Barrio station wagon.
Right.
I'm doing a party.
Right.
Party finish at 3. Get home by 4. Sleep at 5. Up by 6.
6:30. Right. And he was
serious
doing that
shit.
at 18 years old.
Yeah. So it got to the point, like 2 months of doing that, and I told a story the other day because it's like God know what he do.
Right.
Because somebody, I was dealing with a situation the other day and they was like, yo, like don't worry about it. As long as I'm here, you good. I'm like, all right, cool. I said, but you know what happened to me the other time? So I told him the story. So one day, back the way the warehouse was set up, it's like a railroad. Right, so everybody got their station. So we get the 18-wheeler, get all hundreds of boxes, and we all got our boxes, we sorting them out, whatever. It was a machine. So my manager, heck of the time, from his desk, he just look down there, he see all of us there lined up. So a few, I used to be the taste, I went to party down there. So a few times, I'm standing, I'm sleeping, standing up.
Right.
That was crazy.
Right.
And I did it one time too many, and he calls me over. He like, yo, I'm like, fuck. I go sit down, he like, yo, man, he used to come to my parties.
Right. So he knew what was up.
Yeah, he knew. So he like, listen, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm never gonna fire you, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's like, you don't have the energy, like, you know what I'm saying? And I know what you're doing, and I believe in what you're doing. He like, it just take a few months off.
Right.
Right? Go do that.
your thing.
And I'm like, you know, I'm Dominican. We don't give jobs up.
Right.
Like you could, I told my mother that what?
Right.
My mother don't care. I put $4,000-5,000 on the table. No, that's not a job. No, I don't believe in that. She want check and bank account.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, man. He's like, yo, I'm here, bro. I go, boom. I take my little time off. I'm ripping and running. I'm gone. Right. It gets crazy.
It's getting crazy.
So I'm like, yo, let me come through, see my niggas real quick, boom. I come through. I go downstairs. Everybody, cute few dudes is left. Like, yo, where Heck at? And like, oh, Heck quit like last month. He a fireman now. And I'm like, motherfucker. But
he told you he was good. He bounced.
I would have never, if he didn't tell me that, I would never
you
quit.
You would never quit.
But he gave me the parachute. He's like, yo, just go to work. I'm like, yo, you sure?
Right.
He's like, yo,
this
I've been here 5 years. And it was like, it was destiny. So, you know, and that was that. I mean, this has been, I worked at a Gap. I did summer youth. I had a couple of jobs, but outside of that
job, it was a wrap.
It was done. It was like, you can't. And to this day, I said this, I did a pan over there at Fresh Direct for my homie Larry Blackman. And it was me, Conzo, and Slick Rick's wife for Hispanic heritage, and I told that story, and people were just laughing. Like, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
So I never looked back, and it's like, it don't. When I jumped on the stage in Harlem for that 5x5 you put me on to, it's like, it feels like day one, like the excitement.
Right.
I love this shit so much, and it's like, yeah, y'all gonna pay me for this?
Right.
So I'm blessed.
I want to talk about that. Like,
humbled,
what is it that you love about it? Like, I know what I love about the culture, but what is it that you love about the culture?
About DJing?
Yeah, about DJing. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Like, your enthusiasm for this. Like, even though from afar, like, I've seen you from afar for years. Like, and I've been, like I told you, I've been at an old school joint, right? Shout out to Jewy. You know, I done popped up at your old school joint in the park. And, you know, like, we've been, like, in similar circles. Parameter. But I see your enthusiasm ain't changed, bro.
Nah.
For years. Like, what is it about this?
You know, I mean, I don't know where I get it from. I mean, since I was little, I was a young kid, like, I was, you know, just always dancing, always like, you know, not and shy. Like, it's crazy because I would like to do whatever. I wasn't scared to do anything in front of anybody, but it's like, I don't want the attention.
Right.
You feel me? So I do it. I start getting crazy dancing. Everybody go, and then I'll be like, all right. So it was a little weird, but I've always just been like, want to be a part of what's going on. You feel me? And
I feel that.
and that energy, you feel me? Like, so, you know, in them years, you know, the mixtape era, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the Polo Grounds playing ball. Like, so I'm around. I'm not necessarily just stuck in East Harlem. You feel me? Right. So I'm experienced all the, you know, Ron G. Like, and then, you know, I get this Star Child tape, rest in peace, and I'm like, man, look at that, sound having fun. Like, I can listen to the tape, and I put myself in the party because he's like, yo, don't touch my mirrors, and yo, you double parked, and you feel me, like. And then it's like you hear Brucey, and it's like they're having a great time. Like, there's like Capri, and it's like those three guys. Like, that's since forever. Those are my top three. Those are the guys that I was like, yeah, this is what I want to be. I feel, you know, some people don't find their passion there. You know what they want to, the end result. Mm-hmm. You know, and I found it early through the mixtapes and through the hip hop and through this DJing shit. And I'm like, yo, like, if I could do this and just have fun the way these guys have fun, it will never feel like a job. You feel me? So, and I just studied, and I'm like, damn, well, I know I can't say what they're saying, but I can say something. You feel me? And then I told this to somebody the other day, and I won't name no names, but you know, by the time I figured this out, and it was like, you know, 90, 95 is China Club, you know, Latin Quarters on Sundays, you know, all these spots, like, I'm on that mic. Like, and I remember a few Spanish DJs like, yo, like, you don't be scared? Like, they told me that.
Scared? Scared of what? Right.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you scared of? To talk on the mic?
Right.
Nah, I'm saying, you know, that's black guys, that's their thing. And I'm like, Nah, what do you mean? Like this is just a creative thing.
Right.
And yo, you name them. I remember I was there. Nobody. The Spanish dude will not get on that mic because they didn't want the recourse. They didn't want the judgment. Oh, you trying to say like, oh, you ain't supposed. And me, again, I grew up in it.
Right.
So I'm like, ain't no way. I'm gonna get around my black homies, and they're gonna be like, yo, you can't be doing that because I'm already in the culture. I'm already the culture. Right. So yeah, I cracked that door. Like I cracked that door. Like before me, nobody would dare. You could do your homework. Nobody would dare. And then slowly but surely, like
they started coming out with it.
Oh, well, hold on, like so Ted, like wait a minute, nobody telling him nothing? And then you see him, little mic check here and there, to the point where it's like mic work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So and that's a fact.
Yo, you know what's funny though, Ted? Cause like I'm listening to you talk, right? And so for me, like my earliest ventures uptown was like Grant's Tomb, right? Grant's Tomb on Wednesdays, they used to have Jazzmobile. Then after Grant's Tomb, you went down to 25th. And I remember like hearing like the mixtapes coming out of people's cars and the DJs really talking they shit, shouting niggas out, right? Like that whole thing, right? And what I'm gonna tell you is in Brooklyn, the rockers DJs, the selectors, they would talk on the mic.
That's where it came from.
Right. But your hip hop DJs in Brooklyn weren't as demonstrative on the mic as a Brucey B, as a star, as an uptown thing.
I'm gonna tell you why that happened. Because, you know, if you're in Harlem, we around get money niggas. Right. You dig what I'm saying? So what made it like, okay, now it's a tool now. You feel me? You know, you heard the stories. You got Alpo giving, yo, $1,000. It made me say, shout my niggas out. Right. You feel me? Right. And the same thing with me, Purple City, you know, twins, Casey and them. Right. Yo, do a mixtape. How much you want? 2,000. Right. No problem here. Right. Give me a list of names. I'm shouting them out. To this day, I got these tapes in my USB. Right. You feel me? Right. So it became a tool. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And a lot of people that didn't understand it, you know, they were just like, I mean, if you talk to my brother, he hates it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because he feels that it's noise. Right. Right. Now, you know, in some instances, it does sound like noise. Like, it does sound like noise because some dudes that really didn't wanna, they were just screaming because the other dudes was talking. Right. Right. So you have some of those DJs, right. But for the most part, if you listen to Brucey, Star Child, Kick Free, those are only three guys I'm gonna reference. Mm-hmm. They was always talking about a purpose. Mm-hmm. Right? He was always talking about a purpose. Right. You know, if they talking over the music or whatever, but for the most part, it was with a purpose. So that was my thing. My thing was like, if I'm gonna talk over music, I used to always remember how the radio station was. When they talk, they always know it. It's like it's a skill. Right. Like it's like you train your body to low end talk. That they teach you that in radio 101. Right. So I've always been conscious of that. You dig what I'm saying? If you're gonna talk or if you're gonna that it's a Harlem thing when we change the words of shit and then bring the record in. Yeah. That's a Harlem thing. Yeah. Now, if you know your reggae, if you know your sound systems, if you know all that, that's their main thing. Right. Right. The DJ, which is not the American DJ, the DJ is the one on the mic talking. Right. The selector is the DJ. Right? So that process is the DJ is watching a selector and he's not watching the song that's playing. He's watching the song that's coming. So if you're gonna play, if the song that's coming is Bati Rider, right, by Buju, then me, the DJ, I'm gonna talk to the ladies, right, and tell them before the song comes on, I'm leading the song. Yo, and ladies, you don't want to mess with a boom, and then Bati Rider, so it makes sense. Right. So it's a different tool. So with the Harlem, with how we do it, we kind of took that, right, and it's like, I mean, it's Hollywood. For me, it's Hollywood. He was the first that was doing it because he was doing it before hip hop. He was doing it in the disco scene. Right. You feel me? So now Hollywood is getting recognized because of 50 and a lot of people standing up for Hollywood which rightfully so,
Yeah.
because he is the first one to DJ party rock. He was MCing, DJing, party rocking, rapping at the same time.
Yeah.
So it ain't just yelling.
Yeah.
Now, just like anything else, you know, nice kicks. And then there's another dude that saw where we bought these, bought a pair of kicks, but he corny.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So that's part of the game.
Right.
You gotta have the cornballs so that the dudes that's doing the right thing, they stand out.
It's contrast. That's what it is.
If we all got dope sneakers on, it's like ain't nothing to talk about.
Right.
So that's kind of how it is when it comes to the DJing, the mic work, you know, the talking, all that. I mean, my brother's older than me. You never heard him talk.
Never.
Because
when you would hear Ray on I think he talked on like a couple of double R mixtapes.
Half a sentence.
Right. You would never hear Ray.
Half a sentence.
You would hear G. You would
One sentence.
Right. You wouldn't hear Ray at all.
Because G-Bo falls into the same thing. He's like, yelling. You know, it's not in their personality.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
It ain't in their personality. Everybody's different. It's all up in my personality. You dig what I'm saying? Like it come from sports too. Like playing basketball, you gotta talk, you gotta communicate. Move, shift, trap.
Right.
Like you gotta talk to communicate. So it came second nature.
Who was better at ball in your prime? You or Andy?
Me and Andy?
You or Andy?
In
your prime.
In my prime, two different positions. I was a point guard. He was more like a 3 or 2.
3, right.
Because Andy was strong and he could jump.
Right.
So point guard, I'm handle all that way better. But Andy, I might have. If I'm not mistaken, I think I know at one point I could dunk. I could tap dunk. So he for sure could dunk.
He could dunk. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's a toss up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because one-on-one, stronger, bigger. But my jump shot was better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and we always win at it.
Right.
You know, it's like you ask me, probably say the same thing.
Yeah, got you. So one of the things I talk about a lot in this space is how there was like a quickening of the culture. So from like 88 to like 95, that 7-year period, shit moved so quickly, bro. Like we was on a different page by the time 95, 96 came out. We was in a totally different space. Now you was in the clubs. Did you feel that? Like, how did you feel like the culture was moving from the time you was a 15-year-old kid getting that 150 to do a Sweet 16 to the point where now you in China Club and it's like...
It was like it really felt like the city was on my back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because... Now don't you mentioned how people are when Hova's around and Diddy, all these dudes, and it's like those are regular customers.
Right, that's right.
You dig what I'm saying? Because they was on the Spanish chicks. Right. So it was like, and mind you, they was already getting money. So they were regular dudes. Yo, Jay, what's good? You good? Whatever. Everybody, like I'm talking. By the time 97, 98, the only 2 parties that were happening in the city was Latin Quarter on Sunday, Prestige, Gungi, me, and the Tunnel. That's it.
Club New York came like 98, late 98, 99.
That was us.
Right.
That was us.
Right.
On
Shout
Sunday.
to Tammy, shout to Albie. Right.
That was us.
That was on Sunday, right.
Let me tell you something. John Gungi Rivera is the greatest nightclub promoter ever. Period. No one has come close, and no one ever will. You know why? Because he created some of the things that he created on the marketing side. It's to this day, and it will go on forever. Like people celebrating their birthday at the club. Gungi. All your friends free. Give you a bottle of champagne, balloons, Gungi.
Right.
Street team, Gungi. Always paying everybody, rain or shine, Gungi. Yo, we gotta get flexed too. We gotta get the crowd. We gotta Gungi. Let's take Super Cat to Puerto Rico, Gungi. No one. Now mind you, him and Lil Louis Vega was like this. They started DJing together.
Right.
So you want to talk about marketing genius?
Right.
You want to talk about lines around the corner?
Yeah. Fact.
You know, so some of the things that he did are so legendary that the promoters to this day still, those are the main tactics of how they promote parties. You know what I'm saying? So working with him, you know, now mind you, I was already him, right? I'm 600, 700 people Quasimodo Monday night. Me and Jesse Shutter, I see my partner Jesse Ray, I seen him yesterday. I haven't seen him in a minute. It was me and him, 2 people.
Right.
You know, I'm Tuesday night Border Cafe, another 500 people. Wednesday night, the joint on 86th Street. Then we got Country Club. I'm gonna start naming them now.
Right.
Funk Hut.
Right.
Home Base. The Ritz. The biggest clubs in the city. Like, that's what it was. And nice and smooth.
Yeah, all that.
Guru, rest in peace. Like, everybody was, we had the city on. It was over. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So being the person that, okay, you know what? You ever heard somebody call me 52?
No.
Never?
No. 52?
Quick story. So this is me when I was 1, right?
Right.
It looks like a mean little kid, like a little angry kid, right? So this is me when I was 1. I got a mean face in that picture because when I was 1, my mother woke me up from sleeping and made me take a passport picture.
Right.
So I was like pissed, right? Back in the days, you know, the father had to sign the passport picture. Yeah. When I was at around 7, 8 years old, my father disappeared, did the bullshit. I was real close with him. So that was one of the things that had a signature on it. And I've always, like, yo, whatever I do, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that. Right. Boom, I run around, record label. How could I, baby, how? Driving, you know what, straight, you know, if you got a straight face, people want to do business with you, whatever. Done deal, got it. Trademark, we did the record label. So, my birthday's May 2nd. I'm a numbers guy. My birthday's May 2nd, 52. Right? If you've seen any of my cars, well, to this day, my buggy, the silver buggy, got the you know, the buggy, the Herbie is whatever. So I want to be different from Herbie, so I put my number, 52, racing number, right? So then, this how Gungi structured the night. He would have the legendary Baron Lopez, shout to him. It's all in the same room. Big Paul, myself, Glenn Fisher, all in the same room, and we would alternate, right? 20 minutes of salsa, 15 minutes of house, 30 minutes test move. 15 minutes, it went like that. Like you rotate the room. Right. Why you rotate the room? Because if you got 10 playing the whole night, nobody's going to the bar. Right. They're gonna be on the dance floor all night. Right. So he rotate the room so the bar can make money, boom. So then they got to the point where wherever I was at in the club, and Big Paul be like, yo, test move to the booth, right? So I'm talking to a shorty or whatever I'm doing, and somebody's next to me and they trying to get their shit right. Yo, come on, man, he called you. Right. So it got annoying. Right. So I was like, yo, dude, tell Paul, I say, bro, stop. I said, what you gonna do? Between me and you. Right. If you say an announcement, yo, you know, whatever, 3 o'clock, drink special, just say 52. It don't need to make no sense. But I'ma hear it. And only you and I are supposed to be like, I got you. He going whatever, boom, we switch up, I'm over there about whatever. 52 to the DJ, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, you fucking it up. So it didn't last. And then everybody start calling me that. 52. Like I'm in the streets to this day. Right. I'm in the street, random nigga from down the block. Right. 52, what's up? So I don't know why I brought the 52 up, but it's I've always been a number guy. And you know, like the 143, that's I love you, mom. You know, come for the beeper thing. Right. Back in the days. Right, all that. So I've always been a you know, numbers guy. Right. And you know, it was just part of being different. Right. Part of just, you know,
one of the things for me, like again, being a Brooklyn kid that spent time uptown, in Brooklyn, it wasn't really about getting money, right? So you could go in Brooklyn, you go to like the Arc, you go to like the Lab, you go to Callaloo, right? Trinity, right? One Step. Like you could go to these spots. Yeah, it wasn't even about getting money. It's really about your game. Like if you could holler at a chick, right? That was the shit. But then I would go uptown and it was like, damn, like chicks at 17, they got on minks. Like it was a different.
What an era.
You know what I'm saying? The sequin jackets and like, that's the first time I ever saw like bottle service was uptown.
Gungy.
Right?
Gungy.
And so it was like this thing, right? You know, coming up in the mid 90s. And you know, a lot of y'all that came up, y'all about to understand what I'm gonna say. So it was like get money dudes, but then it was like those of us that just was cool, but really just wanted to be in the spot. Right? And we had to navigate. We had to know niggas, right? It was relationships, right? It was consistency. I'm here every week, so you know me, but you had to kind of navigate yourself in that space. And that's when I going full circle now, when I had the conversation with dude that was like, oh, well, Harlem ain't got the best lyricists. I'm like, nah, but uptown is where you had to really learn your shit. Like you couldn't fake the culture uptown. Like,
because it was Union Square. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was Manhattan. But
that's
a whole nother.
You couldn't fake it there.
That's a whole nother conversation. I think they figure like, y'all already got the Apollo, y'all got the swag, y'all got all that. Like, y'all ain't gonna get the lyrics too. You feel like Big Al, like, I mean, come on, we can literally sit down and really have a good conversation about that.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's all good.
Right.
It's all good, man.
So you go through the 90s. You kind of just was really just work. Like when you talk about work, when you talk about grind, when you talk about hustle, that's what I think when I think of Test Smooth. Like especially in that time period, like you just really was outside 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week. Were you happy during that time frame?
Yeah, man. It was a, you know, it's all a blur. It's all a blur because it's so much.
It's a blur.
It's so much, and it's like I couldn't. People are like, yo, what was, you know, like going to Japan, like that, you know, DJing in the Coliseum in Rome. These are different type of things, right? So, but as far as like a night at Quasimodo's was just as fulfilling as 2000 on a Sunday. You feel me? Like Latin Quarters, like, you know, the Hamptons, like it's all the same because it was every week.
Right.
It's like, all right, cool. You did home base, you know, with Funk Flex. Okay, all right, Country Club the next day.
Right.
You know, all right, cool. The China Club. So you couldn't stop to be like, yo, let's talk about last night.
Did you ever look at it like, yo, you were really holding the culture? Like you mentioned that. You said the city was on my back. Did you, like, you was really holding the culture? Because for you, it's 5 nights a week. For me, a patron, I may go out on Monday. I got work Tuesday, Wednesday. I may go out on Thursday. But the fact is, there was a trust that anytime I wanted to go out, I was going to go. I was going to go to where it was going, right?
It was no letdown.
And that was, you were an engineer in that way.
Well, musically, I think, you know, shout out to my brother, Mr. C.
Shout out to Mr. C.
94.7 The Block.
Absolutely.
One our station. You feel me? They was having a conversation about, you know, DJ talking. I was like, yo, versatility, genre versatility is the biggest weapon. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've gotten into this conversation before with some of the purists and stuff like that. And every 5 years I post, I literally put, you know, mixing, genre versatility, scratching, you know, blending mic skills. I put up those 5 and I go, and the post says, put these in order of importance.
What would, I was about to ask
genre versatility. Because everything else is for the moment.
Right.
Everything else is for the moment.
Right.
But you can rock 4 hours, 5 hours. It's a difference if I'm rocking a party for 4 hours and you getting Latin, house, freestyle, hip hop, old school, new new reggae, rockers, as opposed to I'm just playing 90s hip hop for 4 hours. So that is more powerful, and it puts you in different rooms. You could go and do out of town. You could go and do Jamaica. You could go and do. Was you there at the Barclays this summer? When I tore the roof off the shit?
I wasn't there.
For the 90s reggae concert?
No, I wasn't there.
Bro, I left it, people thought I was an alien. Because you got to understand, these 30,000 people, they didn't heard my name,
right.
but they never actually seen me.
It.
So when I'm on stage, and they connect, wait a minute, this the guy?
Right.
And then I'm going.
Right.
Bro.
Right.
That was bucket list.
Right.
Now, mind you, the year before that, I did Radio City, same show, but Brooklyn.
Yeah, I like Radio City too. Radio City is a good venue
for the culture.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Man, I lost my nugget that night.
I wasn't there.
You feel me? So to me, that's always been my advantage. That reggae, like who likes reggae? The ladies, who like the ladies, the guys. So you knew, like I broke Sean Paul. Like he said it the other day when he was here. He always pulls me on stage. Yo, I gotta thank this guy. Without this guy, you feel me?
Right.
Mr. Vegas, like these are
right.
The Spanish people knew reggae just as much as anybody in Brooklyn through me.
Through you.
Right. You feel me? So that always gave us that edge. Like, yo, like growing up, just play Spanish? Yeah, all right.
And that's funny because you got onto rockers from Autumn.
That's my girl. That's my girl, yo.
That's crazy.
Forever.
That's
Autumn.
crazy.
She know every now and then we communicate.
Autumn, yeah.
Autumn is my girl, bro.
Yeah,
might
some
tapes. Some residuals or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Got them tapes, man.
Yo, it's so much I want to touch on. Man.
It's too much. I gotta come back. You know, like a part
It's
2,
too
3.
much, man.
You feel me?
It's too much. One of the things I
It's
want to
too
talk
much.
about though is at some point you start getting into remixes and you really become like that guy in remixing. It's like the early aughts, like 2003, 2004.
It was okay. So I'm from the mixtape era, right? So blending was
Blending is everything. So when you mention that list, I'm saying blending is like number 3 on that list. Gender versatility, mic control, blending.
I mean, it's however you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the list is about just as a DJ performing.
You need to know all these canons.
You know, which one is most important. I leave that up for debate. But for mixtapes, it's all about the first thing people listen to. So everybody was trying to just do the dopest blend. That's how you sold your tape.
Right.
If you had a hot blend, my Little Bit of Love, New Edition.
Yeah.
Remember the time Michael Jackson? That shit to this day.
Everybody did a little bit of love with something. Every DJ tried to blend that shit with something. Right.
I got sold. Right. So I come. It's remixing a record is blending. It's really what it is.
Yeah.
And the essence of blending, I mean, you seen the Kid Capri rocking that rocking well. You feel me? Is an R&B acapella with a hip hop beat. That's the foundation of it.
Blending, right.
That's a blend.
Right.
So, you know, we like this. We like, oh, wait a minute, I got acapellas on there. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm from the era. Boom. 2006, 2007. You can look this up too, because I woke up with them like, whoa, I haven't heard a remix from Puff or Jermaine Dupri in years.
Right.
I don't know if the label stopped cut check. I don't know what it was, but they just stopped. And I'm like, shout out to my man James Cruz, one of my mentors.
James Cruz, shout out to James.
You know, that was after my record label and producing all those hit records and shit. And then I had my daughter. So from 04 to 06, I was like, I'm still working, but I wasn't like 23 hours of the day. I was like, let me raise my daughter. Let me make sure she know who daddy is.
Right.
You know.
And real talk, like, and I don't want to cut your wisdom, but the way that you exhibit fatherhood through social media, right? You know, seeing how you reflect with your daughter, that was something that was inspiring. We're going, and now she's grown. Now she's grown now.
Remind me what I was talking about, but I got to touch on that because, it's coming from not having a father.
Right.
You feel me? So I reversed that cycle. That was like the constant reminder. I would never want to be that guy.
Right.
You feel me? So that's where it come from, and I'm gonna tell you, I got fans. I got fans all over the world. You know, I get off the plane in Japan. They out there with the signs. That shit was crazy.
Right.
But randomly walking down the street, and just a random dude that recognized me, that stops me and goes, "Yo, bro, I'm a better father because of you."
Real talk. Real talk. When I think about you, one thing I think
Tears,
about
tears.
is when you dropping Ty.
It's different, Ty.
When you dropping her off to school, and I remember those, and y'all the conversations.
You saw her whole life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and so people say the same thing to me. I got an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and people see me raise them, but part of that inspiration is how you did it, bro.
I appreciate that, and that's part of it, right? That part of why I do anything that I set my mind to is to do it for myself, but hopefully inspire. Yeah. Hopefully, because if you're the baddest nigga in the room, you're a lonely nigga.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So if I can inspire you to be good, now we got healthy competition. Now we got steel sharpening steel.
Right.
So I've always been an advocate of helping people. Some would say, I've helped people that surpass me, right? In some ways, whether they're on the radio, but that just gives me more allies. You dig it? Camilla will never not take my phone call. Right. Vice versa. You feel me? Right. So it comes from that. You know what I'm saying? What was the point that I was talking about?
We were talking about the remixes, though.
Oh, so the remixes. So I'm kind of going through that time, and I'm like, damn, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. Cause I don't want to do the artist thing no more. That's done. What do I want to do next? I want to be creative. So call James Cruz. I'm like, cause he's the, sometimes you got to talk to somebody that's, is going to tell you the truth and is going to think outside the box. So I called James and I'm like, yo, bro, like, because if you ask me, I done checked all the boxes off. Right. So I'm like, yo, bro, like, what am I missing? Like, what should I take my energy in? Right. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, but I will tell you this. Think about what you do really good. Whatever it is. If you want to be a chef, whatever it is. Just take a few days and just think about that. And when it hits you, full steam. Like you always do. So, 06, 07, I'm like, yo, remixes? I'm like, throw a little remix out. I get the Chris Brown With You. I take the piano from I Need Love, LL Cool J. You already know where this is going. I Need You, boo. Shout out to Jay Boogie, that's one of my favorite joints. Throw the Bridges Over Drums. Right. That's still been the style. Layers. Right. Throw it out, it's on fire. Hearing the DJ playing it. But then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, homeboy over there said that's his blend. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, I gotta do something. Right. Boom. So we go right in. This time I'm doing one of the best basketball tournaments in the city. Together We Chill. Doing that on the east side. Mm-hmm. We shaking shit down. Mm-hmm. So I got a platform to play these remixes, to play my stuff, to test it.
Where was that? Kingdom?
119 between 2nd and 3rd.
You ever played it?
I'm not playing that tour.
Never played it Together We Chill?
Nope.
Where you was playing that in the 90s?
I played everywhere.
What's your nickname when you played?
The Messenger.
The who?
The Messenger.
Brooklyn mostly, or?
Nah, I played with Terror Squad in Rucker.
That was after.
And I played with the Posse.
Okay, the Posse. Okay. Together We Chill, 119th Street, man, between 2nd and 3rd.
I played in Perico up in the Heights. I never played in Together We Chill.
Man, listen. I mean, you can do the
homework, right?
0809, number one tournament in the city.
Right.
I introduced the Jumbotron live on the Jumbo. We called it Party in the Park.
Right.
Bro, it was a party. Right. It was a party. Game over. Everybody stayed party out there. Right. Jumbotron. Shout out to my man Peachy. Mm-hmm. Camera. Figured out the projector. Built the whole screen. Projector gives you couldn't walk in the park. You can't see. Mm-hmm. So everybody just come just Jumbotron, 20-foot Jumbotron. So Edgar. Too hard to guard, Edgar.
Edgar Rivera.
Yeah, Edgar.
What's the last name?
Damn.
I think I'm talking about. Yeah,
Too hard to guard.
Yeah.
Edgar Burgos. Edgar Burgos.
Edgar Burgos, yeah.
Burgos, right.
He did MSG, had to deal with MSG. Mm-hmm. Those 2 years I was talking about, he came and we was featured. Right. Anyway, so I got that platform in 07. Ron Browns bought me a record called Pop Champagne, which I broke at the tournament.
Right.
At the same time, I did this remix, The Dream, I Love Your Girl.
I Love Your Girl.
Which is out of everything I've ever done in my life, that is my favorite remix of all time.
Yeah.
It is genius.
Yeah.
I took Lollipop, Lollipop is like 80 something, soloed that out, and then in the intro I'm speeding it up. I speed it up all the way to 90, but you really don't hear it because I'm talking, I'm introing it. By the time the Madonna drums, it was over.
Right.
So that's I Love Your Girl.
Right.
That's my favorite shit. So that shit there, the whole summer, that's all everybody wanted to hear. But that's when I first started talking. I didn't want to talk on the thing because everybody was complaining about Khaled.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck that. I got to take my credit. So being that I produced No Music, for Voice of Harlem, No Music, right? If you listen to the beginning of No Music, Voice of Harlem says,
yeah, shout to AG.
Test, no straight face, you remember?
Yeah,
so when I'm sitting around how am I going to say it? How am I going to say it? I'm riding around, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to say that. Like, he already said it, people kind of know it.
Right.
So I talked it. I'm like, yo, whatever. Test, no straight face, right?
Remember.
To see what would happen. And that shit took off. Nobody said nothing. I said, all right, cool. Now we get to 08. Blame it. Jamie Foxx. All game.
Right.
Grammys.
Right.
You know what that was.
Shit.
And by that time, that's when I said it with confidence. And the way you hear it now, that was the first remix I said.
But this is what I want to ask you though. You were just taking the shit, like wake up in the crib and like, yo, let me do this? Or was it like they saying, yo, Ted, can you remix this?
Well, it was happening both ways. But a quick story about the Blame It. The reason I did Blame It was because, I won't say the guy's name, but their label owed me money. Right? And my man that kind of got me in the situation, he was my man. So I couldn't go in there and bust the window in.
Right, you couldn't.
I couldn't do that.
Diddy, Steve.
So I'm like, you know what? I was like, you know what? The next big record they get, I'm gonna kill it. And how I'm gonna kill it? Because I know what coding is. So if you know anything about radio, when the record plays, there's a code embedded in the record that you can't hear. It's digital. So when a record spins, radio picks it up. And then it becomes your spins. You know, I got 1,000 spins. Right. So how you know what your spins are is when you code the record.
Right.
The more spins you got, the more money you're gonna make on the record, the more advertising. It's all about the spins.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna get that motherfucker. So Blame It comes out. I'm sitting, I'm like, all right. I wait till that shit right before go number one. Shout out to my engineer, the greatest engineer in the world, Chucker. He's actually in New York City right now. Anytime y'all in Disney World, Disneyland, anytime you hear any music in Disneyland, that's the homie Chuckle, man. Respect my man Chuckle. He's Riz's right arm. No, he's amazing. He's the best. It's my man. So me and Chuckle, we always talked about the day will come where we can make acapellas, right? And the day hadn't come yet, right? So I'm like, yeah. So we're on the internet. And we're like, yo, make acapella. Like, we try to, and there's, I don't even know who the guy was. He had a Neo record, Sexy Love, one of them Neo records, and he had, not even Serato wasn't even out. It was the virtual DJ. Right. And it says, makes acapella. And I'm like, we clicked the shit. I can say it now because we got stems on that, but I didn't give the secret away for a long time. What he did was, it's science. He took the main version of the record, which is the instrumental vocal main, and it has to be from the same take, the instrumental. And you put that right under, like completely right under. And then you click invert. And when you click invert, it reverses the instrumental.
Gives you and gives you the acapella.
Yeah, I call Chuckle right now, bro. I was like, oh my God, that is over. It's over. So you know he's an engineer, he's a geek. He's like, right then and there, we're like, Blame It.
So now, because of that, you could now make instrumental acapellas, any acapella you wanted.
For years. Jive still don't know how I got what they probably gonna know now. They still don't know. They was calling me, yo, we're gonna sue you. So what I do, I make Blame It.
Right.
Call my girl, Kodak.
Right.
No spins for them niggas. Over.
But you got the code, so you can still.
You
got the analytics of the spins.
I was getting all the spins.
You was getting all the spins.
The labels pissed off. They calling the radio.
And that's what
why are we ain't getting the spins? Yeah.
That's
when's the last time you heard the regular version?
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the only version I heard was that shit.
So I got my get back. and I'm like, yeah. So I killed that record, man. I mean, it still did what it did.
Right.
But I definitely sent a shockwave. You feel me?
Right.
Eventually, Jamie Foxx, we bumped into each other at the expo, and he like, yo, man, thank you, man.
Right.
He was like, we needed that.
Right.
You feel me? He did it on the Grammys.
Right.
Like, so it was crazy. And, you know.
What was that? Was that Master P? What was that?
Yeah.
That's Down for My Niggas.
Just Down for My Niggas, right.
Crazy. I caught that.
That's the only version we know.
Yeah, I caught that. So but at that point, it was like, oh, shit. And then it's like, yo, he'll never top that. And then after that, of course, Love on Top and all these other, one of the remixes. So it just got to the point that like, yo, you enough.
Right.
Enough said it on the drop. The remix king. I've never said it.
Right.
I've never like, yo, it's the people. The people,
Right.
They like, yo, you know, you talk to Maynard, he like, yo, you don't miss.
Right.
This nigga don't miss.
Right.
So my reputation is he don't miss.
Right.
So then, you know, the artist is like, yo, tell your label to call me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm perception is everything, right?
Yeah.
If I put something out with Vado, you can't tell me that the label ain't paying me for that.
Right.
Right? Sometimes they pay me, sometimes they don't. But as long as you think I got paid for it, that's all that matters.
Right.
Right? And then I did Angels for Diddy, Dirty Money, then he gave me the infamous drop. If you don't got a textbook remix to extend the life of your single, you're gonna die.
So that was like a whole nother canon for you though. you like kind of reinvented yourself.
But listen, back in the days when we was doing the blends and we was playing them at the party with the turntable on tapes and that's because that was the special thing. You had to have that special weapon. So it just became weapons. But me, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna give it to all of these because I wanted it to be like, all right, now I'm just gonna lock it down. And by the time Deuce started, now I'm gonna start blending again, and I was gone. It was already like, forget this. I have tons of remixes that rotation on radio. K. Michelle, Jada Kiss. You feel me? Like I'm talking about rotation.
Right. That was on radio.
Like records that like I'm picking a check up. So it became a thing. It became a tool. And look what happened. It re-energized this whole thing. The blend battles everywhere. There's DJs that are blend DJs now. It's like it brought it to the forefront, and that's all I wanted to do. You feel me? I do my blend battle. So now it's like, now it's the attention. Now we got the attention. Now we could go to I won't tell you my play. I'll tell you off, you know what I mean? So I could go to a sneaker company. I could go to, yo, listen, this makes sense.
Right.
I'm the remix king.
Right.
Let me remix them sneakers.
Right.
You feel me? So it was strategic.
Right.
You feel me? And I knock on wood, I've been able to do it consistently for so long that it's you know, that tag, they'd be like, yo, make sure you put that. Make sure you put that.
Right.
That is worth.
Right.
It means you legit.
Right.
Like if
it's certification.
It's certification. You feel me? So I'm humbled and I'm blessed. You know, you gotta understand, back in our day, they know other DJ gonna play your shit from there. That's
not
taboo.
Yeah, not at all.
You feel me?
Not at all.
I kind of helped break that mold where DJs was like, send me that. Because what would happen is, I'm at Rumba on a Monday, getting it crazy. Everybody's there. When they go party on that Friday, the girls are like, yo, you ain't got that Lumi D, you ain't got that Ted. That's that shit Ted playing.
Right.
So now every DJ in the
Right.
city is, yo, I need
Yo,
what
you
I'm
had
talking
Lumi
about.
D lit too. You had
Top
Lumi
of
D
the world.
lit. You had Lumi D lit.
Top of the world, man. You feel me? So
Wow.
it's all relative. There's too much. There's a lot to break
But
down.
what we talking about, it's so funny that you said you wanted to be an engineer, because Ted, that's what you've been doing for the last 35 years.
When you look at it, the planning, you know, I mean,
like, because people can't do that.
It's tough.
Like, I stay in my lane. I know what I'm good at. I couldn't do that, bro. You engineered the culture in a very, very visceral way.
It's when you look at the scoreboard, it's I don't have to say it.
No.
You dig what I'm saying? And I think I've done it, the right way.
Right.
Like I think I've been humble, I've been helpful, You feel me? And I get the respect from the people that I need to get the respect from.
Yeah.
And that shit, that goes, you know, that's a fight in the hood.
Yeah.
Like the respect, yo, you gotta go keep going to the court until you bust their ass. Like other than that, you bum, you're a clown. Like that's what we grew up with.
We don't take you seriously because you're not there.
You're the last pick.
Right. You're the last
Nobody
pick.
ain't never been the last pick.
Right.
No, I'm not the last pick.
Right.
Nah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't shoot for ball. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
So it just comes from that. It's the culture. It's the culture, and I've just applied it to parenting, to just everything. You feel me? And you know, my community events.
Right.
You got to talk about that. I just did
that's what
an amazing roller jam. You missed it. Where you was that Sunday?
This past Sunday?
You missed it?
I had to MC some other hip hop.
Hollywood?
Yeah.
Brucey B?
Hollywood came out? I got a Hollywood story.
Go to my page. Everybody go to TEDSM. Go to my Instagram page. Bro, amazing. On 124th Street. We had the lights under the train, street closed, barbecue and boogaloo. It's what I do. I've been doing community free shit for the community for 20 years. My give back is for real. Like, you feel me? Like, and it has encouraged other people to do. You feel me? So when you call me like, yo, they doing this, I'm like, that's a jam. That's a jam with paper behind it.
But you taught me about some shit there. I tell people all the time, you taught me about this idea of favorite nations. Oh, yeah. You put me on that, right? And also kill fee, like in those brief conversations you put me on the game that I ain't really never.
It's important. That's probably the most important thing. So for the people, the favorite nations is a term that is used in the music industry. So basically, so artists don't argue. Like when I had my record out with Lumi D and Fabulous wanted to jump on it and Busta wanted to jump on it. How you pay Busta? So they both just agreed to the same price. So basically, whoever's on the song, they get the same price, and that's it. So when we was telling me about the DJs and stuff, we don't never want to get it, y'all. You know, I don't be like, how much you pay this dude, like. But
the conversation can happen.
I want to make it easier for you, right? So that you don't be like, damn, but Ted said this and this. Yo, bro, you know what? Let's just do favorite nations. What's that? I explained to you, and it made sense and it worked out. You know what?
And I've been rocking with that shit since. Is what I'm saying.
If you had a good lawyer, your lawyer would have told you. Our lawyer, shout out to V Coop, she put us on to that. If not, you'd be paying retarded.
Right, but then also it's like perception. Like it's like, because conversations will happen. And you don't want to seem like a snake or a dude that's not on the up and up, and that's the way to kind of protect yourself from doing. I appreciate that.
You don't want the business to mix with the creative. You never want that. So you always do the business first. Right? I consult for a living. I help. I teach a lot of people about a lot of things in life. It's like you can't. That's the first thing you got to get out the way and get it out the way ASAP. That's the same thing. I didn't know, right? I turned around from one day to another. I had the hottest record in the world. I had to catch up on the business. So I had to give up a little public. Yeah, I learned though. You feel me? So that's what you got to do. Had I been like, yo, let's clear the sample now. You hear about that all the time. You feel me? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I get that puppet check, when I get the publisher check, it's nice, but I'm like, this shit could have been triple, like, but you learn. So my duty, if I know you and I fuck with you and you know what I'm saying, I just be like, I give you the game. Because they can't hurt me. You feel me?
You put me on, definitely.
So
what you doing now? Tell me about
I don't even know. Like I'm literally looking for tomorrow. I've been talking all year about, you know, I started my old school jams in 06, 05, 06, and it was the first 7 years it was only vinyl. You couldn't DJ my jam. Don't talk about no equipment. Digital. It was like the essence. And then, you know, if Kid Capri won't, cause he ain't gonna bring his record. So slowly but surely, you know, I'm like, all right. And then eventually it just turned into whatever. Yo, vinyl. If you look at I just posted some of the vinyl. I love playing vinyl, and I just don't have the time. So, shout to Sharon at Rocket Soul. They called me to do. They got something. It's a rooftop downtown called the Star Rock Room, something like that. From 6 to 9 tomorrow, vinyl.
Damn, I gotta go.
45s, 12 inches.
From 6 to 9.
6:30, 9:30. And you know, I got the best collection of picture records. My collection is retarded. And I like bringing those records out because people bug out. They like, oh, what? You feel me? So I get to play that, touch that vinyl. It's
a different.
So I'm excited about tomorrow, but I gotta. My girl told me earlier, she was like, "Yo, why you don't bring no turntable like this? Do it." And I'm like, you know what? So I'm gonna do a pop up. I don't know where. I'm just gonna pop up somewhere. Turntables, vinyl, and speakers, and I'm just gonna play. Like just for me. If the cops come, they come. If they don't, they don't. Right. But it's something that I will never not want to play vinyl. It's so important.
Right.
The feel of it, the smell of it, like. So tomorrow, yeah, look at my Instagram page, see the flyer. It's gonna be a movie.
I'm not gonna make it tomorrow, man.
It's gonna be a movie.
But I want to connect the dots, and so Juju, right?
Shout out to Juju.
From Harlem. Him and I, like, we both kind of work in this political space. And Eddie Gibbs, shout out to Eddie Gibbs, the assembly member, right? So we kind of trying to build this bridge between what I'm doing here in Central Brooklyn and what they doing out in the East Side, right? And so you're a big part of that. Because here's the thing, Ted. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, we talk about hip hop as a culture. A culture means that it's the norms, it's the different things that happen. It comes from intellectual achievement.
You gotta shake it sometimes.
Right. You are the culture. Like, you're the culture of hip hop. You represent that in a very real way. You're like the engineer of it all. You've done it with the parties. You've done it with the ball. Like, people don't see it, how basketball connects with hip hop. Yeah, the clothing, all of it, right? All of it, the remixes, but the fatherhood, the community give back, all of that, all of it matters. So I salute you, bro. I salute you on the work you do, but I want to connect.
Let me just tell people, let me give you some flowers too, because, you know, that 5x5, you know, I've always seen you on Instagram, but I just never knew who you was. Well, we follow each other, whatever. And when you hit me about that, I was like, you didn't tell me what your name was. It was just like, yo, man, I'm such and such, and I think you knew that. You thought that I knew who I was talking to, but I really wasn't.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, bro, like, sound good, like, let's work
funny,
out.
right.
And you was like, yo, man, like, I really just left that boardroom, like, yo, bro, if we don't get Ted Smooth on this bill, like, I don't want nothing to do with it. Like, so you put it on the line, like, and I was like, I really appreciated that because you said something that was important. It's like when you say Harlem, they always leave out East Harlem.
Yeah,
and I know that the East, I know that there's a name, so it's easy for you to separate it, but it was very important that you did that because, you know, it is Harlem. It is like I'm, you know, I just did, you know, Creed of Harlem championship basketball game like that. And, you know, I knew everybody there. Like, I'm part of all the culture up and down the, you know, so it was important, and I really appreciated that because you put your money on the line for what you felt was right. Yeah. You did what I'm saying, and hopefully I didn't let you down.
Nah, without question. But look, but real talk,
I really had an intention.
Yeah,
I gotta make Marlon look like he knew that this was the right thing to do. So your people up there, they're like, okay, he's more of an asset now. Right. You see the chest?
Right.
Know that.
But let me explain something. So what happens is, a lot of times when we talk, and I wanted to get into this, and we'll talk about this later, but basically, long story short, Hip Hop 50 proved to corporations that people our age will still spend money on hip hop, right? And so the entire summer has been geared in that way. So now they pull me into the 5x5 and they let me book the event, and like, it's Harlem, right? So you're gonna ask me what Harlem should look like. I'm a Brooklyn kid, but I spent time in Harlem.
You know this.
And when I say Ted Smooth, it's like, Ted Smooth, who's that? These are people that don't necessarily deal day to day in the culture. So they don't know. So it's an education process.
They know they dance to my music whenever they go out.
If I say Kid Capri, it's a go, right? If I say Ron G, it's like, okay, yeah, we know. But Ted Smooth, it was like, yo, word? I'm like, nah, trust me. You gotta have. Because we can't, again, this goes full circle. My most comfortable spaces in Harlem is on East Side. It's a different thing. It's Andy crib. It's at Jibo crib. It's at Jew crib.
It's a different feel.
Yeah, that's where I'm. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with the West Side. Shout out to Belva. That's my peoples over there. 116 Frederick Douglass. 115. But it was that circle that kind of was part of my coming of age, right? So when I said Ted Smooth, and they kind of was like ambivalent about it, I'm like, nah, this is who we need. Like, we can't do it without Ted Smooth because we got to represent East Side. And that was my whole shit. You can't, I can't give you, right, I can't give you 4 West Side DJs and that's it. We got to represent the whole of Harlem. And so when I called you, and that's funny that you said that because even though you and I are not necessarily connected, like you went to Tech, bro. Like
I didn't know none of this.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The connection is crazy.
Ray, G, these is my brothers. Like, this is the people's. Andy said.
The connection is crazy.
So I called you on some shit like, you knew, like, yo, Ted, what's up? I need this. But he was like, I don't know. Who is this nigga? Right.
For me, it's always the approach is everything in life.
Yeah.
You know, if you come up to me the right way at the right time, I'm probably gonna play your request.
Yeah.
But if you come at me, it's all about the approach. And you know, I always remember that I was the guy at one time that wasn't known, that was trying to, you know, get known or get this or get that or get autograph from this guy. And it's like those dudes that was not non-judgmental. You know, I'm the same. Now it's on me now to pay that forward.
Right.
You feel me? And it happens literally every day.
Right.
Like it was. If I'm walking down the street, my daughter's even worse. Cause they yo, the lemonade tie, yo, you so big. Right. I can't go nowhere. Right. And it's like, but it's love though. It's like, it's love. I went to the gym this morning, my girl. As soon as I open the door, dude jump out the car. He like 50 feet away. Right. Ted Smooth, straight face, and I'm like, yo, what up, fam? I'm in the gym at 6:30 in the morning. Yo, fam, what up? She like, you know him? I'm like, no, I don't know him, but I got yo.
Right, you gotta show love.
It's good.
Right.
I would have held the doorway. He was too far.
Right.
So it's like, last week, this is the funniest shit. We go check the gym out early. I'm in there low key, 7 o'clock. I walk up the stairs, boom. Take 2 steps. Ted Smooth, bomba clock. It's fucking Jabba.
That's crazy. Shout to Jabba.
Jabba's on the goddamn with a hoodie on, low key yelling my name, and I'm like, I go like this. Why, Jabba? Why are you yelling my name in the gym? The most embarrassing shit in the world. But it's like you gotta love that, man.
And that's our culture, man.
Let me tell you, man.
And that's the thing that people don't see, man. Like people from the outside looking in, they don't really understand. When we say hip hop is a culture, we really mean that shit. Like we are really bonded by these things, and our passion and ambition for being a part of it. Because there's a lot of people that grew up, and they didn't necessarily have the ambition to be a part of the culture. Let me tell you, Ted, I did everything. I danced, I DJ'd, I rhymed, I fucking promote parties, I host events. Like, I did whatever I could to be in a space where I could be adjacent to the culture. Right, I gotta be part of it. You know what I'm saying?
But this is why the culture has lasted and grown. It's because it's together. There's an energy, there's a glue about this hip hop shit that it won't allow it to fall apart. Right. It won't. Right. That's how shit come and it go. Right. This hip hop thing.
Right. But what's the glue? The glue is us.
It's the hood.
It's the hood. Right. It's the hood. It's the underserved. It's the fact that we understand. We grew up together. And I was talking about Sunday, and then we're gonna go to the questions. But I was talking about Sunday. Sunday, I did an event where I had to speak at this hip hop event. Right, they brought me in to speak about hip hop, and the thing I said was that hip hop was a culture before it was a music genre, right? And so, what was the culture? The culture was community. The culture was, I used to have a lady named Miss B that used to live across the street from me. When I used to do dumb shit in front of my stoop, she would call my mom.
Your parents are not going to see it,
right?
And they had authority,
right? And they had authority. She could call my mother, like, yo, listen, Marlon is fucking riding his bike down the steps. He done fell, bust his ass.
Call your mom. If she's in the vicinity, she gonna spank that ass, and your mother gonna thank her.
But that was hip hop. Let me tell you what hip hop was. Hip hop was when you was a good kid. When the wolves in the community saw you as a good kid, they was like, nah, don't fuck with that nigga. Like, let him do his thing.
Bro, that's me all day.
That was hip hop.
That's me. I can tell you a story.
You know what I'm saying?
They like, nah, he the one, man. Nah.
Leave him alone.
I've done more stopping of dudes beating dudes up than anything else in my life because let me tell you something. I mean, not only am I welcomed and respected wherever I'm at, because I've been taught to go where I'm appreciated, not tolerated.
Not tolerated, right?
Right. So that love and for that person to stick out like that, you dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Wolves recognize it, because there's only one Michael Jordan. There's you know what I'm saying? The creators, us, whether it's designer, whether it's whatever you are, we stand out, and that's the beauty of doing what we do, because everybody's trying to do it, but everybody ain't gonna make it.
Right.
And I have always understood that. There ain't no guarantees, there ain't no favors, there ain't no nothing. I gotta get it. I gotta get it myself.
Right.
I raised my daughter like that. Whoever's around me, ain't no free rides.
Right.
We gotta get it. So
but if you got that ambition, I'm with you 100%.
It's ambition.
Right.
It's ambition. That's the first thing. If you got no ambition, you have nothing.
You have nothing.
You have nothing.
You cannot succeed without ambition.
I'll tell you.
What's up, Jay? What's up with the questions? We got anything going?
No questions, but hard-hitting Harry came through.
Shout out to Harry. Good. Happy birthday, Harry. Happy birthday, King.
Classic material came through.
Carlos was good. Right. Shout out to Carlos.
Said straight face, you remember.
Yeah.
No questions.
Yo, I appreciate this, Ted. Because again, like for me and you, it's funny because this summer it's like I call you and you just be like, yeah, nah, no doubt, I got you.
I didn't even know where I was coming to yesterday. I was like, yo, bro, so this thing you wanted me to do. I get this all of y'all in it. I'm like, I don't do interviews. Like I got other thing going on that I won't represent, but I like, nah, you good.
Yeah, this is day good. And I'm we're gonna talk more off camera, but this is really part of this connectivity between East Side and Brooklyn. Right, and just really working on from a community standpoint. A lot of the issues that we face in Central Brooklyn is faced in
same shit.
It's the same shit. It's the same shit, and so I appreciate this. Yo, what Kai says? Kai on there? Kai, you on?
Kai's on here.
Kai, what you talking about before we go?
There's a lot of new money in Brooklyn. We gotta get some of that new money in Brooklyn, man. Like this ain't the whole Brooklyn.
Yeah, we got to.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody else getting it. Yeah, man.
We got to.
The space is here. This is a beautiful. You know.
We got. Malik, what you said?
Answer stems. Ask me about stems.
What's up with stems?
Well, what about stems? What's the question?
Serato stems.
Serato stems?
What about it?
What about it?
What do you feel about it? It changes the whole.
So you know what that is?
Stems is like you have a song, and each part of the song now
it's a stem.
It's a stem, right?
This is a software that is on Serato now that allows you to create stems while you in real time. So it's basically if you're playing a record, Mary J. Blige, Real Love,
right?
And then you got, I don't know, Do the James on this side, and when this record is finishing, you take out the beat, and now it becomes an acapella, and now you gotta blend. So then it gives you acapella in real time, and you boom. I've been DJing like that forever. If you listen to some quick reference, like if you listen. Friday nights, by the way, 94.7 The Block, 10 p.m. Test Worry Friday night. I've been on there a little over a year. If you listen to any of my mixtapes or when I'm on the radio, that's something that I was doing before stems.
Gotcha. Because
we figured out creatively how to do it. But now it's opened up. The creativity level is through the roof. Now, of course, with that comes. The dudes that are just horrible, and that's fine. Like, you got to give them time to just whatever.
Right.
But for the dudes that was already dope at it, now it's like, now you're like a machine. Now it's made it faster. Yeah. Like Serato is the gift and the curse. Why? Because we don't got to carry the records no more, so that's great, right? But then now everybody's a fucking DJ, or they think they're a DJ. So that's the good and the bad. Right. You feel me? So with everything, I love technology. I got killed for technology back in. Forget about all this, you fake, you're not on turntables, you're not real. And I'm just like, all right, and everybody got a laptop. Right. That's another conversation. Right. Well, you feel what I mean? Right. So I've always been about technology, I've always pushed technology. And so I haven't even I haven't even gotten to Serato.
You haven't really.
Shout out to my man OP. He kind of runs Serato. OP, you know, I don't really need it, but I'm eventually I'm gonna get it.
You ain't really investigate the stems or
No,
Serato like that.
I don't even have it. They sent me the software when they first came out. Try it. Let us know. I just never uploaded it. So I just DJ like that. You feel me? So eventually, I guess, you know.
But that's funny how they build technology to allow DJs to actually be easier at doing what you've been doing for 30 years, 40 years.
But that's, you know, they're smart. They see that is, I mean, I'm not going to be like, but shit. There was no blend battle. There was that was, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question.
And we brought that to the forefront.
So when somebody like, you know what I'm saying, like I heard on, I'm not gonna mention names, but on a particular podcast, somebody was like, they're not giving the person their stems. So stems are part of the master package?
Well, stems, okay, well before Serato, before the technology, right, before it came out of Serato, there were certain softwares that we would use to make acapellas, right, which I've had for years. Sometimes I usually get the acapella from the artist, from the studio session, whatever. But if we can't get it, it works good enough, right? With the way we was doing it, right. So, but a stem comes from, if you're in a recording session, you know, the big board with all the little knobs. Each of those things is a track.
It's a track, like Pro Tools, yeah.
You have 48 tracks.
You got the bass here, you got the highs here.
Every track is a stem.
Right. Gotcha.
So that's where it originates from. So if you go, yo, I need the stems to your session, that means that I need your session so I could break down everything.
Each track.
So same, that's where it came from. But now they put it towards the software and the controller, but now you DJing like that. And let me tell you something, real quick. Shout to Buffalo, my dudes up in Buffalo. They do this festival up there. They got me to go up there. It was me and it was about a month ago. It was me and Manny Fresh. Let me tell you.
In Buffalo.
Let me tell you. You know, a lot of times you hear, you know, the producer used to be DJing, and they don't really. Let me tell you, man. Manny Fresh is a dope ass fucking DJ. I was like, cause you know what? I body language all day. Right. So I'm like, oh, he that swag, the way he's setting up, you know what I mean? The little nonchalant, like, I'm like, I gotta stay for this. Now mind you, I did what I did. Yo, this dude was blended. I think his first 30 minutes was
just blends.
Record, blend out, blend. Record, yo, I'm talking about down south with slow jams. I was like, so at the end of it all, well, bottom line is I was like, yo, niggas dope. I was like, yo, man, I'm a big fan, but I don't care nothing about the records you did. Right. Your DJ, he was like, yeah, I was watching you too, play. We're like, you know, so we chopped it up, took a picture, but stems allowed him to be creative like that. I don't know if he would have done that, you know, without, because it's much more difficult, but like in real time, it's much more difficult to do that. Right. But Manny Fresh, I'll tell y'all right now, that boy is nasty.
Yo, one last question. Who was the greatest blend of our era? like, a lot of people look at like Grandmaster Vic, right?
Oh man, that debate.
Yeah.
Well,
of that era. I'm saying of that era.
Of that era?
Right.
Shout to Grandmaster Vic. Shout to I never met him in person, but I was able to meet him over the phone, text me. So eventually I'm gonna meet him, because anytime there's a blend conversation, Queens, they go on Grandmaster Vic, and rightfully so. Pioneer, like, you know, I DJ for I'm not remembering his name.
Kenny Burke.
Right to the top, yeah.
Kenny Burke.
So you know, and in Queens, he's God.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And Grandmaster Vic, that's the anthem. The way he was doing it was crazy. I don't really know of a blend. Now, we talking legend, we talking top 5. DJ Hot Day, Queens. Once in a Lifetime Groove.
Yes, I remember that.
That blend is so fire.
Yeah.
In the middle of the blend,
It
it went off.
Right.
It went off, and it just nobody cared.
Right.
So that's
Yo, that's crazy.
obviously Kid Capri, Stephanie Mills, Impeach the President at Rock and Wheels, legendary. I'm gonna put my Remember the Time, Michael Jackson. I'm gonna put that up there with anything.
What you blend
because
with?
About 13 beats. So, do I want to tell that story?
Tell a story.
So, shout out to SNS. Me and SNS are good now.
Yeah.
But for a very long time, we wasn't good.
Yeah.
SNS was the first DJ that dissed me on the mixtape. And I'm like, I don't even know this guy. But that was his come up. He's like, that was his time. Shout out to SNS. We good now. So, 1199 on the East Side Plaza. I forget who did huge party there. It was me, SNS, and Ron G. This is 94.
This is in the mix, yeah.
On my side of town.
On your side, right.
Flooded.
Right.
I'm headlining, right? I hadn't seen SNS since I didn't know he was.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see him. Boom, I get there.
So this was after he dissed you?
Yeah, he said something on a mixtape. The crisscross, just had smooth, wiggity whack. He said, boom, I'm like, you know this guy.
Right.
Then I found him at Club 2000. He didn't even know how I looked.
Right.
So I go in the booth and I'm like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, yo, why you diss me on the mixtape?
Right.
He's like, what are you talking? He's like, I'm Tess Smooth. He's like, you Tess? I'm like, he's like, nah, y'all just, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, you can't, like, come on, bro. Boom. I hadn't seen him since then, right? I get there. Ron is on. Right, those day gets off. SNS, I'm closing. Right. I'm doing the last hour.
Right.
What SNS do? He don't want to get off. And I'm like, this motherfucker. So I'm on my side. Right. He got his dudes on. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm going to let him get that.
Right.
He gets off with like 10 minutes left.
Right.
And meanwhile, I'm like, yo, you know what? Plug the tape deck in, B. You know, I'm going to say it right now. It's documented. I'm the first hip-hop DJ to do blends on a 4-track. Right. Love you, G-Bo.
Right.
Double R, love y'all.
But they used to get flack for that sequencing. That shit.
Yeah, because
they used to get flack for that. I remember that.
You know what happens with that? Those DJs, they can't do it.
They can't do it.
Their capacity don't. So they go, it's whack.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So this is documented. So I take, first of all, I was one of the 5 people in the city, 5 DJs that had the vinyl with the acapella. There were only 5 pieces. I'm one of them.
Right.
You never heard this blend?
Well, tell me it.
You just crazy?
Which one?
Do you remember? Do 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 da da. You got an intro.
Yes, right.
They did that.
Yes.
So I go, all right, cool, no problem. Plug the tape deck. So remember, we can't do this on vinyl. It's too many. You can't. You only have 2 turntables.
Right.
I had it in my cigarette. I had it on the tape. I like, yo, man, shout to SNS. You know, I only got 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna give y'all this.
Press play.
Bring it back. Bring it. Mayhem. I'm talking about, dude, it's like 14 beats back to back. Niggas never heard. They never heard it was an alien.
Right.
Bodied everybody.
Right.
The next day, Ron G like, yo, how you did that? I said, how you did that? Like, how many turntables you use on your Ron?
Right.
We're not supposed to do this in the culture, but I don't fear nobody.
Right.
I was like, yo, there's this thing called 4-track.
Right.
Go to Canal.
Right. Get you a 4-track.
And call me and then Ron G's blend game stepped up and
then
the secret was out.
Right.
You feel me?
Start using
so
right.
Technology. So I'm gonna put Remember the Time up with
Top
anything
5.
in life.
Top 5.
Groundbreaking.
Right.
The next time we at a party, I'm gonna play it.
Right.
I don't care what time it is, it goes off.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
I mean, what other blends that are like there? I don't blame it there. You throw.
What was the joint, man, with the Gap? The Gap band. Even if the world starts falling, there is one thing I'm sure of. Yeah.
Keep saying.
Catch You Some Blink. What was the name of the song?
That's
Listen. It's some Queen. It's probably some Queen shit.
Queen shit.
Probably some Queen shit.
I don't know that record.
Right, probably some Queen shit.
I don't know that record. I mean, there's so many. I mean, you talking Green Lantern, so many blend, demo.
Yeah, but that,
Like, you know what I'm saying? So there was like so much going on so fast. But from what I can remember, blends that was like, oh shit.
Right.
I got a lot of those.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those.
Yeah.
And it's I go for records that are damn near classics.
Right.
And I try to make them better. It's a hard thing to do.
Damn, bro.
It's really hard.
It's so much. I didn't even get a chance to talk to you about
Too much.
how to code the thing to get the spins. But like I said, it's
I think
crazy.
I'm still getting the spins on
the J.
it's coded.
Yeah.
Every DJ that has
How do you code it?
it's,
He said that's how you code it.
you know what I'm saying? The
Right.
companies do that for the record labels.
Right.
One of my homegirls,
Right.
she was like, I code that for you.
Right. And you still get it. We ain't talking about the Turkish
There's not
shit.
a version of that record that doesn't have that. Yeah, we shot the Fat Joe this.
Yeah, shout out to Fat Joe.
It's just a little
Yo, so
exclusive out there.
Fat Joe
I did
was
one for
getting-
him, but I made one for me too.
Fat Joe is getting like unnecessary flack on Twitter or X or whatever people call it because he's hosting, I think, the BET Awards or something.
Crazy.
And it's this idea that people have that's not from our culture, not from where we from, that think that there's some sort of separation between black and brown people. And that's just not the case. Right? It's just not the case. Right? But it's difficult to explain that if you wasn't here. Right?
Fat Joe has done the most numbers as a host of BET ever.
He's Fat Joe.
Like he's really good at.
Yeah, he's Fat Joe.
Really good
Medium
at what he does.
Right.
If he wasn't good, trust me, BET don't give three shits
They're
about
not
doing
gonna
business
care.
with him.
Right, they're not
You
gonna
feel me?
care.
So-
shout to Scott, president
Shout
of
to
BET.
shout
That's
to
my
Joe,
people.
shout to
Yeah,
this place, shout to the
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Mayor, what up? So I mean, during the pandemic, again, me giving back. I was doing Touch the People every day, 12 o'clock, playing for the people and keep people damn near from harming themselves.
Right.
And after a while, his daughter told him, Dad, you should try this Instagram. Going, we ain't doing nothing, we in the house. He jumps on, it becomes a thing. I jump on one of his lives. He like, yo, Taro, yo, come through Friday, play some joint for us. All right, nigga, whatever. I know Joe since 91. Never did a record with him, never. It's just friends. So for us to now do business and work together because we were both giving back, that's what it is. You put the energy in and come back.
Joe is hip hop. Joe is the culture, man.
And bro, it's been like we've been working together for the longest.
Right.
Like we had a show, he tells you the records he wants to do, I pick the order,
Right.
and we
Right.
smashed.
Right.
So, and he do for the, I don't want to be the Fat Joe spokesman, but he do for the community. There's so much people,
You ain't gotta defend
people
him.
that ain't doing nothing.
Right. Got something to
so
say.
much to
Right.
say.
But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day,
And nobody doing nothing.
and we're going to leave it here because the truth of the matter is that's why we here. Because the fact of the matter is, if you grew up in New York City in the 70s and 80s, then you understood diversity in a very real way, right? We used to go to Avenue U to get the Sergio Tacchini joints in the fucking Italian neighborhood to get the
Oliver.
joints. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understand how this culture supersedes race and nationality. And we respect it. Shout out to Jesse Sandler, my man that went to Tech.
Jesse.
White boy, his father was the booking manager for John Cougar Mellencamp. Jesse more hip hop than a lot of people I know. Shout out to Fred Zuckerberg. He was your year.
Yes,
Fred.
yes.
90, 91. Rest in peace. He gone now. Fred was more hip hop than these white
You
boys.
talking about Fred Span?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta show you this picture. I got this picture, right? I blew it up. It's this big. You know, when you walk in tech, it's the 2 stairs that go like this.
Yeah.
And then it's like a little platform right there. So I jump on the platform. I'm sitting on top of the platform. C-Rad, D-Mac, they're all here. It's a group picture
Right.
of the basketball team and a couple of Kevin Smart.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Shout out to Kevin Smart.
Fred
That's my
Span
man.
is in that picture.
Fred.
You
Yeah.
said that, I'm like, that'd be Fred Span.
Fred. Yeah.
And this picture is so classic.
Yeah.
I blew it up, but this when I was young.
Yo, Fred was a
Such a
fly
dope
white
ass
boy,
picture.
man. I remember
This
seeing
Conrad, before he could take 2 steps, and he clumsy freshman
Right.
Conrad, with the
Right.
jacket was up to here.
Right.
Like, and it was just love. And I'm like this, like, these are my guys. Like,
Right.
now that pay when you said Fred Span, I said,
Yeah, man. Shout out to all of them, man. That's the peoples. So yeah,
what's up.
look, appreciate you guys for showing up,
This was
showing
great.
out.
This
This
was
was
great.
good, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
This is-
parking outside.
Yeah, it's regular, man. It's regular.
Mad at this, man.
All week, all month this October, we're gonna be talking to DJs. And so, you know, shout out to Ted for coming through and, you know, believing in this work.
Appreciate
And, you know, we're gonna move forward. I got shout out to Talim. So Talim was gonna do the 3rd. DJ Talim, you know
that.
Talim. But Talim is gonna be on next Tuesday, so we have another good conversation.
Yeah, that's a
my
beautiful
guy.
thing.
Yeah, Talim's a good dude. We straight, Jay. You want to show him the kicks? You got the kicks on.
I got the kicks. Hey, listen,
Yeah.
I'm from Harlem. I'm seeing a lot of next level. I'm seeing a lot of colors. I see a lot
you
of
got to
colors.
come through, man.
I see
We
a
got
lot
the
of things
shit.
going on.
Yeah, we got the shit.
I see a lot of good things going on up
Yeah, we got a
here.
lot of things.
I don't want to
happening.
ask how much is the rent here because it looks boo-boo. I'm even at that. I'm fine in my studio. We got concierge and all that, so we good. We ain't that far. But this is great.
Yeah, now we do it.
Matter of fact, Serrato's here too.
Yeah.
Serrato's somewhere in Brooklyn.
And the Navy Yard.
Yeah.
Malik, you know where Serrato is?
Yeah, the next building.
Yeah, they
Okay,
here.
let's
They
go
shout out
over.
OP. Yeah, I go over there, visit them every now and then.
Yeah, okay.
But this is, I don't know what happens here 'cause there's so much going on in here, but I like this. I like a
Yo,
little bit of
we've
everything.
been here since the Rats was here.
Wow,
Like,
that's
we've
great.
been here, yo, we used to fucking have to model outside, man. It was crazy out here. We've been here from the Brooklyn Navy Yard since day one, man.
That's great.
25 years.
Amazing
This
space.
institution, 25 years. You know what I'm
And
saying?
y'all had to have caught it for the Lord and grandfather. You had to have done that. You had to have done
You
that,
gotta talk to
man.
Malik in the back.
You had to, yo, listen, man. Nobody would come in the building. We take that for the shorties,
Right,
man.
right.
Yeah,
It's
that's
nothing,
how you
right.
gotta do it.
Right.
That's how you gotta do it.
Right.
I love it.
Indeed,
Anytime you see
indeed.
those beams right there,
Yeah.
you know there's
Yeah,
2,000
you get it now.
square.
Get it now.
Yeah. Good move.
Yo, we'll see you next Tuesday. We out.
Hey, listen.
Conversation Hip Hop Closet is all love, man.
Follow me at Ted Smooth, TEDSMOOTH, 94.7 The Block, each and every Friday. We got new station, 10 p.m. And Ted Smooth, straight face. You remember. Go. Yo,
Peace. We
awesome,
out.
bro. Love. You already.